This week on Lunchbox Envy, in the early 1900s, suet pudding and liver stew was on the menu.
In ancient Sparta, boys were expected to steal theirs to encourage resourcefulness.
And in 2012, a 9-year-old Scottish schoolgirl went viral after she started posting online reviews of hers.
It's school dinner time! Hello and welcome to Lunchbox Envy. I'm Jack and I'm here with my fellow QI elf, Manu.
We are also joined by recipe developer and food stylist Jodie Nixon.
Hello.
Hi, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get going, the topic of nutrition in schools is always in the news and it's not necessarily good news. So the ad revenue that we make from this episode will be going to Magic Breakfast, which is a charity that provides free, healthy breakfasts and support to schools across the UK.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So it's been a while since any of us were at school. What do we remember of school dinners?
I remember all of it.
Do you?
I was obsessed with my school dinners.
In a good way?
In a great way.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a dinner lady called Mrs. Lloyd. And
Shout out to Mrs. Lloyd.
Big up Mrs. Lloyd. She was iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have such strong memories of all of the food that she cooked for
Really?
us. Yeah.
Oh, that's really
I just
sweet.
loved it.
Was this at primary school or secondary school?
Primary school, just
Yeah,
primary
yeah.
school. Secondary school, whole different ballgame.
Do you think that having that experience as a young child has influenced your kind of career decisions and your love of food now?
1,000,000% without a shadow of a doubt. I think a lot of the cooking that I do anyway, all of the stuff that like really gets me like excited is when it's rooted in something nostalgic. Do you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
I love all of the things I grew up eating. So I actually did like a whole school dinner series with Mob.
Amazing.
It was like 2 years ago. And it got people so impassioned, like the amount of people messaging me on like a daily basis being like, oh my god, I just saw you talking about like treacle tarts or cornflake tarts or butterscotch tarts, and then the custard debate comes up.
Yeah.
You know, like pink custard, mint. I didn't even know mint custard was a
Mint
thing.
custard.
Hanging.
Which schools are they serving?
So a lot of Bristol had
Okay.
mint custard, and I think it was in the Midlands.
Interesting
So
that it's so
it was like kind of
localised,
weird, but it
yeah.
is like there was like these little pockets of different
What colour was it?
green.
Wow.
So in Bristol, they'd have like the chocolate crunch or the chocolate cake with the bright green mint custard.
Mint, that's such a good combo.
Whereas we had pink custard.
What flavour is pink?
Meat.
It was pink flavour.
Salami.
Pink flavour.
I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you. Like it was just pink flavoured custard.
Did it taste different? I mean, you wouldn't have done a blind taste
No,
test.
I honestly think it was just custard
Just
with food
dyed.
dye
Yeah,
in
exactly,
it.
yeah.
So mad.
But all
But
of
also, that's like tubby custard.
I was going to say no.
Tubby
No,
custard. Yeah, so anything
You grew
like
up in
that.
Teletubby land,
I,
didn't
do
you?
you know what?
Yeah.
I literally
Your
did.
school was
What
in a
an
nuclear
underage.
bunker.
What an underage basically is Teletubby land. So yeah, I think it's massively
Shaped
informed
you, yeah.
how I cook. But yeah, I think it is also really nice to have the conversations with other people about how they grew up and what they grew up eating. And I don't know, I think if you can root your cooking in something that people find familiar.
I do remember like turkey dinosaurs and beans. Beans served en masse and sort of like
Wait, are we talking primary school or
tray
secondary
bakers.
school?
This is primary school.
yeah.
And then secondary school, there's a bit more nuance. There was like a cold section where you get salads and sandwiches.
I've never had one.
What do you
Oh
mean?
my God.
I was a packed lunch kid in primary school and then I was homeschooled
Okay.
for secondary.
Oh, you've missed out on so many good things.
I
Shame.
know. The
Such shame.
Do you even know what a potato smiley is?
I mean, I had friends still. I used to go to their houses. We
Well,
actually never
we
had
haven't had proof of
potatoes.
this.
So when do we think people started eating school dinners?
Well, presumably when we invented school. One thing I did find in my research was in ancient Sparta, as you mentioned in the intro, it was an incredibly military culture. So you would train boys from a surprisingly young age to be soldiers. And one of the things they did the system was called agoge, and basically they would encourage their young recruits to steal food. So they didn't provide school dinners. So in a way, this is like the opposite of school dinners. But during the lessons, they'd finish and then they'd be like, right, go and fend for yourself. And they thought that encouraged deviousness and smarts and toughness. And you either went hungry or you stole food. And they would punish you if you got caught, but only because you were bad enough to get caught. Like they encouraged the stealing.
Where are they stealing from?
Presumably like everyone else in the town.
Okay, right. Oh god.
Yeah, well, anyway you could find. You might forage if you're sort of an ethical Spartan.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to harm my fellow
You
man.
got the little mushroom basket. Be like, what's seasonal?
You'd been a great
So good.
Spartan.
I would die. So good.
But yeah, it was also quite brutal because it would weed out the weakest and the
Yeah.
least willing to, steal, because they would be malnourished and not be able to keep up and possibly die.
I was reading about, because I was also trying to figure out the first school dinner, first school meal, and one of the dates that keeps popping up is 1790.
Okay.
In Germany, there was a school founded by Benjamin Thompson called the Poor People's Institute of Munich, and he's alleged to have started this program of free or subsidized school meals. But one of the things about this history that is so confusing is there are so many points along the road when we think about modern school dinners where it's mandatory for institutions to provide them, but not to give them away. So it's that
Okay.
kind of tension between,
Yeah.
we're making it, but also you have to pay for it. But maybe unless you don't have to, but some are free and others
Yeah.
are not, which is why there's such a broad spectrum across the world.
Yeah, huge patchwork.
It's mad stuff.
Yeah, because it's very important, I think, on a long-term scale to teach kids about nutrition and
exactly.
get them into good habits early on. But also even just on a short term, like for the day, hungry kids don't learn nearly so well.
No, they don't.
I just find it mad that the UK has never ever done it for free, completely free. That's wild.
What's crazy is that India does, because I expect the Scandi countries to do it because they've got quite small populations and a strong welfare
Well,
system and high taxes.
Finland was one of the first to offer free.
Yeah.
In 1943, they started doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So all of this post-war boom, like post-World War II. But sorry, you were going to say India?
Well, just India has 120 million kids that they feed. And obviously it's quite patchy and it's quite subject to corruption and stuff. But like, fair play to India for actually trying to feed all of their children for free. And, because it was only quite recently, it was 2002, I think it was
Okay.
ratified by the Supreme Court. The World Food Programme calculates that every dollar spent on a free school meal brings $35 in benefits.
Ooh.
But it's just the trouble is it's quite a long way down the line and it's often quite immeasurable. So governments thinking short term are like, why would we spend X billion pounds giving children stuff for free? But it also encourages school attendance in places where school attendance isn't compulsory, or at least they're quite lax on attendance. Like the draw of a free hot school meal will, bring certainly kids on the poverty line, which is again quite bleak, but it's like you can see why it would bring you into school.
Yeah, 100%.
In the UK, is actually thanks to a nursery worker and activist called Margaret Macmillan, who was one of the first to push through school meals need to be a thing, because school attendance wasn't mandatory. So this was really early 1900s. School attendance becomes mandatory. And then she's like, well, if we're making them come here, they need to eat. Because like you said, kids can't concentrate if they're hungry. And that was her big idea. It's like, maybe it might be useful if they weren't starving. And everyone's like, that's a good idea. Again, like I said, towards the aftermath of World War II, there's more of a push for a welfare state, more free school meals. And then Thatcher comes along in the 80s.
God damn it.
There
she comes.
Have you guys heard of Thatcher the Milk Snatcher?
Yes.
I was about to say.
Oh, Maggie.
Yes, it was actually before she was Prime Minister. Margaret Thatcher was the Education Secretary. And
God.
I mean, there was probably a whole team behind it, but she gets the blame for removing a lot of the subsidies. They used to provide free milk for schools. And that's why she's earned the epithet Margaret Thatcher Milk Snatcher.
Yeah. Do you think there are a lot of comfort foods that carry from that like childhood school dinner thing? Because I think my mum's got maybe the custard thing. Whenever she eats it, she's just like, this is my childhood. This is the best thing. I don't know what colours hers were, but yeah. Have you guys got school dinner thing that you will still eat and you're like, yes.
I
A lot of ours were quite meaty, so I don't really eat them now. But there was one thing that I actually do think about it a lot, but I never make it because I don't really cook meat at home. We used to have chicken a la king. Did you ever have that?
Oh,
What is
no, I don't
that?
think
It was
so.
just chicken with slightly undercooked rice in like a creamy, it was this kind of like creamy sauce. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. And so I think anything like that is kind of like creamy slop of like something you can just like,
Creamy slop.
do you know?
Oh, yeah.
It just doesn't
There's
sound nice,
the
does it?
tekkers as well. I mean, I've not done it, but like
Yeah. Oh yeah, or
No,
the
that's
ice
not the
cream
right note.
scoop of mashed potato.
I mean, just the aesthetic of school dinners. Like, I think of the word school dinners and I'm straight back in the kind of echoey canteen with the big metal trays and that weird funk that comes from like
the
too many
sweat.
kids in one place and open bins. The dinner ladies, even with all their hairnets, and I don't know what the gender neutral term is. When I was at school, it was always dinner ladies, but
I've
there
never
must be.
seen a male.
the dinner people.
But like, actually, what is that? A dinner man?
They've probably got some strangely corporate
the lunch
name.
lord.
They're like,
I don't know.
I prefer that.
Yeah, lunch lord is good.
Okay, it's time for lunchbox number 1, and this week that's from Jodie. What have you brought, Jodie?
Okay, I've brought you the ultimate British school dinner.
Thank you so much.
You are
this
welcome.
is a real
So
nostalgia bomb.
excited.
Yes, so we'll start from the end here. Sticky toffee pudding, spaghetti hoop in a
amazing.
separate compartment, of
Very
course.
nice.
Potato smileys,
Love those.
a little bit of ketchup, and we have the infamous turkey Twizzler.
You did it.
I did.
cannot.
I did it. I went there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so
It's
much.
a long time since I've had a turkey Twizzler. Should we describe what they are? They're basically quite processed turkey meat in a helix shape. It was the poster child of processed food in children's school dinners, and celebrity chef Jamie Oliver picked up on it. He did a big TV series linked to his campaign called Jamie's School Dinners. And everybody knew who Jamie Oliver was. Everybody knew who Turkey Twizzlers was. And they were kind of at loggerheads. And Jamie Oliver was like, look at what we're serving our kids. And he would hold up a Turkey Twizzler. And it was on headlines all across the UK.
Just to clarify, these are not a Bernard Matthews special. They're a Jodie Nixon special that I had artisanally made in my South London home using turkey sausages and then all the good stuff. So there's no weird
Amazing.
ingredients in there. There was quite a lot of like very artificial flavouring in the turkey
The
Twizzlers
original
of
ones. Yeah.
yesteryear, which because I was trying to replicate the flavors. Obviously, I was looking at like what the ingredients were, but I even was looking at it and I was like, I know they've put so much other stuff in there that I can't replicate because
Yeah,
it's
of
just
course.
not.
Sometimes they just say flavouring.
It's not the
Don't know
same.
what that
Yeah.
is,
How many E numbers are we talking?
Probably quite a lot.
I love in 2018 there was a petition to bring back the turkey Twizzler
Oh,
for school
really?
lunches. It got 27,000 signatures.
Wow, that's
There's
quite a lot.
clearly, well, that's probably why they brought them back, didn't they?
Well, they came back in
Yeah.
2020, I think,
Well, there you go.
back into the shops.
To make sure we're not sued, like Bernard Matthews have reformulated
did
since
they?
there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even them will not be as tasty as these, I'm sure.
The thing with the turkey Twizzler, I remember, I don't know if you remember, they were so
Springy.
and weird. Like it was like that kind of like gelatinousness that you can only get through something funky. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's just like
What is that thing? It's called like meat mush or pink.
Yes, pink slime. That's the colloquial term for, I think it's lean, finely textured beef, which they use in industrial foods.
When you see videos of how it's made, it's just like big meat mush cartilage, amazing. It does look like toothpaste or
It
something.
looks like tubby custard.
It does look like tubby custard, but like more mushy.
Yeah,
In my
bit
head,
more
that
solid.
is what.
Yeah. So Jodie, how did you make a turkey Twizzler?
it's surprisingly very easy. So you basically get a turkey sausage.
But how
Do
did
you get the Twizzle?
Well, you poach the sausage first.
Okay.
And then to make it into the Twizzle shape, you skewer them through the middle and then you kind of get the knife and you roll the turkey sausage and the skewer across your board as you're moving the
That's
knife.
so clever.
Do you see what I mean?
I
I mean,
can
it
picture
can get a bit fiddly. You may lose a fingertip. By the 6th one, I was like, I'm on a roll.
Nice.
But then I was out of sausages. Do you know what I mean? So basically, you do that, and then you kind of like stretch it out down the skewer, and then you do the pane.
Yes,
situation.
don't accidentally turn your finger into a twizzle.
In my head, you do that with potatoes as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all coming together.
They're called tornado potatoes.
Tornado potato.
Yes, I've seen
Well, it's
that.
like so like twizzle.
I love it.
Tornado.
Should spiralize all of our foods.
It adds to the surface area as well.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's
Makes
so
extra
tasty.
crunch.
Yeah, you literally do that, and then you pane.
For the layperson, what's pane?
Oh, sorry, pane. Using my
just
fancy
said
terms. Get your little sausage, your twirly sausage, and then you put it in your flour. In the flour, I had mustard powder, smoked paprika, garlic granules, salt, pepper, and then you put it in the egg. Take off the excess, then you roll it into the golden breadcrumbs, and then that was literally it. Sprayed it with some oil. And then I air fried them for extra health. Because I could have deep fried them, and I did think about it.
Crack.
If you had some tomato powder, that would have been really good. But
Ooh, I've
I
never come
ran
across
out.
that.
It's really
What
good.
is? I've never heard of this.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's really good for like making crisps. Like if you
yeah.
do like the tomato pat on the worst.
Okay.
Let's go.
Then we go.
No. Oh wow.
I mean,
Oh, that's pretty close to how I remember, but
Really?
tastier, yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, first Twizzler ever.
First ever Twizzler. It is dry. Is the overwhelm, but it's so delicious. Like
I think if you're a kid, you know, and you got served up that, you know, if
yeah.
that was the option. If they were making them like this, like kids would love it.
Right, I'm going to go for potato smiley.
Yeah, actually, I think I want the potato smiley.
They weren't
how
quite
do
so
they get the
infamous.
smiley on the potato? No, I'm thinking.
You have to kill them quickly while they're still in a good mood. Very nostalgic, like you say. I very sort of fondly remember for Christmas dinners, you'd have very thin slices of turkey in the very gelatinous gravy. But something about that's just like it really hits the
Delicious.
spot. Sometimes I'll go and then someone's cooked a proper turkey over like they've brined it overnight and it's always a bit dry and I'm like, God, give me the tin stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, there's something
spaghetti.
about it, isn't it? Also in the tray.
Yeah, I really distinctly remember we had plastic trays and they were kind of oval shaped. And then you'd have to scrape your food into the massive communal bin that really stank. I used to pinch my nose for that bit. And then they'd stack so neatly. And I remember finding that so satisfying. And we also had different colours. They would get a new batch in that were like yellow and the previous ones were blue.
Yes.
And then you'd have like all these yellow ones infiltrating. and then-
Honestly, that's what I wanted to say to you because we had these hanging plastic ones and there was like blue ones were good, like dark blue. But then we had these disgusting ones that looked like they were from 50s or something. Like they were like all a bit stained and like brown.
Really?
And so it was like always be like getting to the front of the queue and you'd be like looking like, oh my God, which one am I going to get? Which one am I going to get? And if you got given the crap one,
Yeah.
it did affect. It obviously
Yeah.
like what you're eating from affects how you enjoy the food.
Oh, yeah.
But it honestly was a bad day when you got the brown one. It was
so
it was
Well,
horrible.
Yeah.
Friend of the
oh,
podcast, Charles Spence, he would have something to say about it.
Yeah. So
Do you eat more off a red plate or
I think
something?
like orangey ready plates are meant to stimulate your appetite, but
Make
then
it quicker as well. to
also
eat.
I think white plates make food more satisfying. I think it's the contrast of the
yeah.
so much science behind like
Yeah.
the color of the tray, the color of the plate, and how it kind of interacts with the food visually. So interesting. Same with cups as well. Drinking out of different colored cups
Yes.
affects how much you drink, how much you enjoy.
Really? I didn't know that.
Do you guys remember turkey dinosaurs?
Do I?
They were the... That's so sultry. Do it again.
I do. I used to love a turkey dinosaur.
Yeah. They were always my favourite because I was a massive dinosaur fan as a child. But there's an interesting, presumably other massive dinosaur fan as a child. He's a guy called Rhys Charles who works in the science department for the University of Bristol. But he basically did a sort of tongue-in-cheek analysis of the taxonomy of turkey dinosaurs, which come in 3 different shapes. So you've got the sauropod, the theropod, and the ceratopsian. There's some great quotes. He said, I would argue that there is no greater display of the popularity of non-avian dinosaurs than the fact that we literally shape the processed remains of other animals to look like them. And I honestly believe this makes them taste better.
They will.
And yeah, interestingly, there's like a new genus of vegan nuggetus that arrived in like 2018 of the shape that only exists in the vegan nuggets.
Oh.
Vegan dinosaurs do exist thanks to one Irish woman who, back in 2018, drunkenly DM'd Corn on Instagram to say, why don't you do vegan nuggets? Okay, it's time for lunchbox number 2. And this week, that's mine. So I have brought you an international tray of school dinners from around the world.
Ooh.
Fun.
Yeah. So this is a little trip around the world via school dinners. And we'll start with the glass of wine that you've obviously all noticed. French school children used to have wine with their meals.
Oh,
Madness.
lucky.
The French offered it throughout the 20th century, and it was only banned in 1981. actually.
Really?
So until 1981, I think it was only served for 14 and over. But they basically thought it was quite a good way to teach children about drinking in moderation, and they had kind of misguided ideas about how healthy it was. But it is made from fruit, right?
It's juice. It is juice.
Yeah, maths would be a lot more fun, wouldn't it? After lunch, it'd be like,
Yeah.
I love it. You know what? It would help in language class. Like, that's scientifically proven.
Yes.
Dutch courage improves your language. Like, speaking in
No,
a foreign
really?
language, to an extent, it helps get rid of that, like, fear.
yeah, makes
But
sense.
then when you have too much wine, it stops
Yeah, it's
helping.
like a J curve, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's,
I used to find that because I played the trumpet, and my improvisation was so much better after a drink. Because I think you just have the confidence to go for things that you otherwise wouldn't.
yeah.
I basically had a little trip around the world via the Global Child Nutrition Foundation. They've done surveys over the last 5 years of various countries and worked out what exactly they provide and what they prohibit in terms of their school dinners. So obviously there's a bit of range because, like, even in the UK, you can imagine they'll sometimes serve pasta, sometimes they'll serve soup, sometimes they'll serve bread. So it's not like everyone in Russia is only eating borscht and everyone in India is only eating curry,
That
right?
sounded really West Country.
Borscht. It's catching.
But what I did find, and what I've brought for you all, is that in Egypt, the only thing they provide for free is mahmoul, which are date biscuits.
They
Fun.
look
So help yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you
I
very
don't know
much.
if they look how they're meant to look, but I think they pair
like
quite well
it.
with this white wine.
So what's the dough?
The dough is mostly semolina, but they're
Cardamom.
spiced. Yeah.
Really nice.
I think they were much better last night when they were fresh and warm. The only thing, most of these are prohibited, which is why I've left a compartment empty in the school dinner tray. So, stock cubes are prohibited in Benin,
What? Why?
the West African country of Benin. I think, honestly, most of the time, these countries just say nothing unhealthy, like no junk food. There was this in quotes, the junk
that's
food
a
thing.
bit of a
But
jump.
some of them were quite specific. So Benin said no stock cubes.
That's so random.
In Antigua and Barbuda, the only thing prohibited is soy sauce.
Wow.
And both of these things due to salt levels.
I think so, yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
But what's interesting, they don't say things with high levels of salt. They
Yeah,
just
it's
say
just
soy
that one
sauce.
thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that these are all very like tasty umami things. I
Oh,
think they've just got
absolutely.
it out for these kids. They're like, not too much flavor. Like, no, it's got to be medium nice, but it can't be too nice.
Argentina, amongst a number of other countries, they're quite unique and they get 100% of their food domestically.
Is it just a cow? Is it a
They
live?
do like their beef. Greece only allows pastries if they're cooked with olive oil.
That's
No
so-
other fat, which is so like,
Greek.
it's very Greek because they're the ones who drink the most olive oil. But yeah. In Spain, you're not allowed to serve shark or swordfish
Fair.
because they might be high in mercury. Slovakia, interestingly, prohibits quinine, which is the main.
And like tonic water.
Yeah. But also taurine, which is kind of involved in energy drinks. And in France, they actually ban synthetic meat.
Interesting.
They're very protective about their meat industry. So basically, it's lab-grown meat, which it's still in its early stages. It's probably going to be the future of meat because it's relatively cheap and very cruelty-free. But it's still in its early stages, which is probably why the French have banned it. Also, interestingly, on all of these reports, they had a list of things that they do as part of like a healthy living kind of nutrition. And France was one of the few countries I found that offers eye tests.
Oh,
So you could make the point for saying France gives free eye tests as part of a school dinner, but I think that obviously comes afterwards.
in my head, they've got at the back where the dinner people
Yeah.
are like that.
The menu and all the unhealthy stuff is like in small
tiny,
at the bottom.
tiny.
Yeah, so you have to have really good eyes to get the junk food.
Love it.
That's great. Belgium's policy is called snack and chill
Oh, I love snacking and chilling.
in
That sounds
English.
so
Yeah, I
good.
know. That's
Wait, so what
great.
does that mean?
I mean, it's basically they offer some fruit and free milk and legumes
Yeah.
and hot meals and stuff. But yeah, it's just branded snack and chill, which I thought was quite funny.
That's nice.
The wine in the French school dinners is so similar to something that happened in Belgium in 2001.
Oh, yeah.
So a Belgian beer club actually approached primary schools and suggest that they serve a very low alcohol table beer.
Okay.
It's like a more nutritious option compared to fizzy drinks, which are like categorically not
That's
good for
true.
you.
I can see their argument.
Yeah, it's just super healthy. Obviously, parents were fuming and this didn't go through, but it actually does kind of draw on an older tradition like France of serving kids very weak beer. They were actually served this until the 1970s. Again, to kind of learn how to drink responsibly and not get drunk, but still be able to like be around booze at the table.
Amazing.
But it makes sense. But I mean, Belgians love their beer.
Yeah. Snack and chill is actually short for snack and chilled beer. They're very chill.
It's super chill.
But what's fascinating about this whole industry is like there's a lot of power because, like I mentioned with the French example, they don't serve fake meat as part of their school dinners. And it's partly to protect their national culture of France, I think, but also just directly the meat producers in the country. If you're rolling out these schemes to all, X million of your children, A, there's a lot of money involved. It's big contracts. But B, you're kind of forming their ideas about what food is and what's tasty and sort of shaping a national culture, basically,
it's
from an early age.
Very important educational tool.
Yeah, it's a bit like offering student discount, isn't it? I remember Co-op offered student discount of 15% when I was a student. And that was on everything. You could get alcohol. And again, I was thinking, why do they do that? They're presumably losing money, but like it's in order to gain your loyalty so that you then shop there for the rest of your life.
Very clever.
The Czech Republic, the only country I saw that explicitly banned tobacco products.
Oh, wow.
I think everywhere else is kind of taken as read, but you don't serve cigarettes at school.
I'm imagining the French school kids are still
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
the wine, but they're loving it.
We're like, we don't care.
Okay, it's time for lunchbox number 3, and today that's coming from the weird homeschool kid in the corner.
Oh, yes, it is. I have brought a packed lunch, as is my way.
Yeah.
But this is specifically a Norwegian packed lunch
Oh.
called the Mørtpakke.
Mørtpakke?
Mørtpakke.
Oh.
It's spelled Matpakke. Mørtpakke.
Wonderful, thank you.
Go.
Stunning.
Wait. It's not got pickled herring in it, has it?
No, there's
Okay.
no pickled herring. It literally translates to food packet. And this is eaten by school kids, packed lunches. They
Okay.
aren't massively into school dinners.
Sure.
Most kids bring this to school. Adults bring this to work. Apparently, like, it's an institution, your Mørtpakke.
It's lovingly wrapped in greaseproof paper.
I know.
Quite satisfying, isn't it, to hold?
I love it. There are 2 flavors here.
Wait, can we guess?
Yeah, do you want to guess?
Okay, I'll just sniff it. Ooh, fishy.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, it tastes of pate. It's delicious.
It is pate.
Oh, it is pate.
Pork liver pate.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And this one is a kind of caviar in a tube.
Wow.
So
Pink slime.
this is kind of salmony pink slime. And then the third ingredient, which I couldn't find for this,
Uh-oh.
is brown cheese.
Oh, yes, the brown cheese.
have you had it?
I've never had it. I've seen about it before, and I'm kind of confused. It's one of those things that I can't imagine the flavour of.
Well, it's technically not cheese. It's caramelized away. So they use the byproduct from cheese making and then they cook it down until it becomes sweet and brown. And in 2013, a truckload of brunost, this brown cheese, caught fire in a tunnel. And because this cheese is so processed and so fatty and not really cheese, it burnt for 5 days. They couldn't put
Oh my
this fire
God.
out.
That's crazy.
So that's their third lunch.
So you couldn't get surprised because it's all in a Norwegian channel somewhere.
it's all burnt. So the important thing about Mørtpakke
Delicious.
is that it's simple and easy to make in the morning. It's very, very quick. This is culturally like a functional lunch food. It's not flashy. Simple flavors, simple preparation. If you put something fancy in your mud packet, absolutely not. So this tradition started in the 1930s. After something called the Oslo breakfast. So this was a free school meal that was rolled out to feed children. One of the things you forget, before oil was found in Norway, like actually a really poor country. So post World War One, so many kids were starving. So they introduced this breakfast, which had really simple slices of bread, butter, some kind of meat, a bit of fruit and milk, and that did wonders for their young, hungry population. So for some reason, they decided to take all of the nutritious parts out.
And just, I was about to say,
stick with this.
Make sure you eat your one fruit and vegetable a day.
This is, like I said, also eaten by adults at work. And apparently it fits in really well with a kind of culture of quite regimented break times, which are a bit shorter because they have a shorter working day to make the most of the daylight hours. So they only get half an hour for lunch. But the joy of this is you've already made it. There's like 3 things in it. You can actually focus on eating and then do something else with your break. You come back to work with a clearer head, apparently. And also it is an equalizer because you're not bringing in flashy stuff or like going to a shop, queuing and buying a really expensive lunch. It feels more fair.
Yeah, it's like school uniform. It sort of equalizes everyone.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the Norwegian matpakke. I also looked at a lunch that was exactly the opposite of this. Packed lunches. You guys heard of the bento box?
Oh,
yes.
So bento boxes are huge at the moment, not just in Japan where they're from.
Hugely popular rather than enormous.
They're massive size of the table. Bento boxes are like really beautiful, perfectly compartmentalized boxes where you put different portions of food and kind of like different courses of your lunch into each one.
Finally, we're getting to lunchboxes on Lunchbox Envy.
It's taken a hot minute. I mean, they're a kind of an old tradition. People have been taking packed lunches in these bento boxes since at least the 12th century in Japan. It started with the kind of like rural farmers taking nicely prepared rice balls out. And then in the Edo period, which is 16th to 18th century, rich Japanese people getting really into their lunch boxes as well. So today, there's so much attention and detail that goes into them. There's something called charaben, which is like food art, which is incorporated into the bento. And apparently, some Japanese parents wake up at 5 a.m. to start prepping these.
Yeah. I was just about to say, you can, if you go on TikTok, there's so many videos and they're literally getting up and they're doing the most crazy shit for their kids, like in the morning. Like the knife skills are... insane.
It is mad. And you can go to classes where you're taught how to make, like, say, Studio Ghibli characters, all of this stuff. There's a really cool BBC like mini documentary where someone goes to visit a charaben teacher and she's like showing him her portfolio and she's done one of Michael Jackson.
Wow. So, Manny's showing us the picture. That's incredible. I didn't
like
even realize that was food.
A pretty accurate portrait of Michael Jackson.
Insane.
Made in rice and nori and maybe some lettuce. I don't know.
Goodness, he's got lettuce collars.
Like you said, you need mad knife skills, but there are shortcuts you can take in making your really artsy bento box. So you can use metal cutters or egg molds to like mold your rice. There are stamp cutters. My favorite is the nori hole punch. So it's like takes out specific kind of smiley faces or like animal faces and you stick those on your rice. There's also food safe markers, so you can literally draw onto your food.
Well, now I know they've got markers to make the Michael Jackson. I'm not that impressed.
That's nori though. But
so did your parents ever do this for you? They didn't make you the Norwegian paste bread.
They did not. They didn't do either of those things.
Shame.
But one thing my mum did do religiously during primary school, which I loved, was write notes. Did you guys get that?
Yeah, my mum not so much, but my dad always used to go in when he did lunchboxes. So
right.
normally it'd be like on a Monday when we had a roast dinner. So he'd do like a 3-decker, like triple-decker chicken sandwich, and then there was always a note in the top. It was so cute.
Yeah, one of the things I read recently, which was so heartwarming, in 2018, Kellogg's collaborated with the National Federation for the Blind to make Braille love notes. So blind or visually impaired kids could still enjoy the notes, which was really sweet. And then they also made a kind of audio recording boxes.
Okay.
So parents could record messages and then the kids could listen to those.
Oh, is it like
so
one of those
cute.
like birthday cards with the speakers in? Just dang, dang, dang,
What if your
dang, dang.
parent says something really embarrassing and you can't eat, like take eat, but you're like,
Love you so much, schmuggums. Yeah. Don't forget to wipe your bum. Okay, that's it for this week's edition of Lunchbox Envy. You can follow our socials for foodie facts and podcast updates. We are on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Lunchbox Envy Pod. And Jodie, what's your social handle?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at jodynixon_, very important. And then I also write a Substack newsletter called The New British Table.
Amazing. Check that out.
You can also get in touch and send us your facts, recipes, and questions by emailing us at lunchbox@qi.com.
So Jodie, any parting recipes you'd like to grace us with?
As I mentioned earlier, I've done quite a lot of school dinner inspired recipes, and you can find a whole collection of them over on the Mob website.
Amazing.
Nice.
That's MOB.
MOB, or on the app.
We will see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Lunchbox Envy was hosted by Manu Onryo, Jodie Nixon, and me, Jack Chambers. It was produced by Alex Bell. This has been a quite interesting podcast.